Today, we're diving into a crucial topic that affects millions of men and women silently after age 40. Leg and muscle damage. Many ignore it, assuming it's just aging. But here's the truth. Muscle loss and leg deterioration are not inevitable. They're preventable, reversible even. And today, I want to share with you 3 proven steps backed by science to stop leg and muscle damage so you can walk strong, live fully, and age powerfully. ChatGPT said, let's talk about movement. Specifically, how activating your legs every single day can change the entire trajectory of your physical health after 40. This isn't about trying to reverse time. It's not about pretending you're still 25 or competing with athletes in their prime. It's about recognizing a simple biological truth. Your legs are one of the most powerful signals to your brain that you still intend to thrive. Here's what most people don't realize. Once you hit 40, you begin to lose muscle mass, especially in the lower body. This process is called sarcopenia, and it's natural. But natural doesn't mean inevitable. Muscle doesn't disappear overnight, but it does quietly decline when you stop using it with purpose. The mistake most people make is confusing aging with surrender. They slow down, they sit more, they assume stiffness and weakness are just part of getting older. But they're not. They're part of what happens when you don't move. The legs are a big deal. Your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves, they're not just there to walk you from point A to point B. They are metabolic engines. When you move them, especially under load or resistance, you stimulate the release of hormones, increase blood flow, elevate neural activity, and send a very specific message to your body. We're still in the game. Keep building. Keep protecting. When those muscles are idle, that signal fades. And what replaces it? Weakness, atrophy, poor circulation, decreased mobility. You may not feel it in a single day or even a single week, but give it 6 months or a year, and it's like aging hits all at once. That's the bad news. The good news, you can halt and even reverse this decline. And you don't need extreme workouts or gym memberships to do it. You need deliberate, consistent daily movement. Start simple. If you're doing nothing right now, even a 15-minute walk is a victory. But make that walk brisk. Feel your legs engage. Feel your calves push off the ground and your glutes activate. Walk with your chest open, arms moving, breath deep and intentional. This isn't just about burning calories. It's about reminding your legs that they matter. It's about building neural pathways that keep your body online and your mind alert. If walking is already a habit, now it's time to add intensity. You don't need to sprint. You don't even need to run. You need to challenge your legs in ways that mimic real-world functional demands. That could be bodyweight squats, step-ups on a stair, lunges, or even just controlled heel raises while brushing your teeth. You're not training for aesthetics here. You're training for longevity, for strength, for the ability to get off the floor without assistance at 75, to hike with your grandkids, to carry groceries up the stairs without your knees buckling. And here's what happens when you do this regularly. You start activating fast-twitch muscle fibers that keep you agile. You maintain balance. You prevent joint degeneration. You increase circulation to the lower extremities, which is essential for preventing things like diabetic neuropathy, varicose veins, or even blood clots. Most people wait until they've lost function before they try to reclaim it, but by then the slope is steep. Start now, and that slope stays flat or even turns upward. This kind of leg activation isn't just physical, it's deeply neurological. Movement stimulates brain degeneratory neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that supports the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth of new ones. So when you engage your legs, you're not just protecting your muscles, you're protecting your brain. There's a reason walking is associated with reduced risk of Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. Movement is medicine. It feeds every part of you, cardiovascular, muscular, metabolic, and cognitive. Also talk about frequency. You can't save it up for a Saturday workout and then go sedentary the rest of the week. That's not how biology works. The human body is highly responsive to frequency over intensity. That means doing a little bit every single day will have far more impact than crushing one hard workout and then crashing for 4 days. A few minutes of mobility in the morning, a walk after meals, 50 squats before bed, it compounds, it stacks, it adds up. For those with joint pain or stiffness, especially in the knees, the response is often to avoid movement. But this leads to more stiffness, not less. The key is controlled, gentle activation. Partial squats using a chair. Water walking or swimming, seated leg extensions. Your muscles and joints don't want rest. They want smart engagement. They want blood flow. They want attention. And if you're someone who already exercises but still experiences soreness or fatigue, look at your movement variety. Are you doing the same routine every week? Are you only focusing on certain muscles while neglecting stabilizers? Are you sitting at a desk for hours between workouts? Even fit people can suffer muscle damage if they don't move intelligently. The key is adaptation. Change your angles. Train barefoot to wake up dormant foot muscles. Do side lunges. Add resistance bands. Stand more. Stretch during work calls. Every step, every activation is a deposit in your strength account. And just like with finances, small daily deposits outperform rare windfalls. We often hear about the importance of heart health after 40, and it's true, but leg strength and mobility are directly tied to cardiovascular endurance, insulin sensitivity, and overall health span. In fact, studies show that leg strength is one of the strongest predictors of independent living in older age. Lose your legs, and you lose your freedom. One more thing to consider: posture. The muscles in your legs, especially your glutes and hamstrings, are critical for spinal alignment. When your legs weaken, your pelvis tilts, your back compensates. You end up with hip pain, low back tension, and stiffness in the upper body. This leads people to focus on treating symptoms, massages, painkillers, stretching, when the root cause is often underactive legs. This is why leg activation isn't optional, it's foundational. You can't maintain independence if your legs don't support you, and you can't age gracefully if you're afraid of stairs. This isn't about chasing performance. It's about preserving function. It's about doing what's necessary now so you can continue doing what you love later. And if you're wondering when to start, the answer is always today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when the pain gets worse, today. Because every day you move intentionally, every squat you do with awareness, every walk you take when it would have been easier to sit, you're voting for strength. You're investing in a future where your body works for you, not against you. This is where it begins. Before you think about supplements, or complicated routines, or the latest fitness gadget, start with movement. Simple, daily, mindful movement. Activate your legs and you activate your life. And if you do that consistently, if you really build that into your day, not as a punishment, but as a priority, then you've already taken the first and most powerful step towards stopping leg and muscle damage before it starts. Now let's talk about something we often overlook when it comes to stopping muscle and leg damage, especially after 40, the role of nutrition, specifically protein and micronutrients. And I want to be really clear here. This is not about some trendy diet. This is about building a strategy that supports your biology as it evolves. Because the truth is, what fueled your body at 25 doesn't work the same way at 45. The rules change. And if we want to keep our muscles strong, resilient, and functional, we have to change with them. What most people don't realize is that after 40, your body becomes less efficient at synthesizing protein. That is the process of breaking down protein from food and rebuilding it into muscle. This decline means even if you're eating the same way you did 10 years ago, your body may not be doing the same thing with that fuel. So we need to shift from maintenance mode to support mode, giving the body more of what it needs more often and with better timing. The cornerstone of this is protein intake. Now, I'm not saying you need to go full bodybuilder mode here, but research shows that adults over 40 should aim for 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, and in some cases even more, especially if you're active or trying to rebuild lost muscle mass. For a 70 kilogram person, that's about 84 to 112 grams per day. And it's not just the quantity, it's also the quality and distribution that matter. Instead of loading all your protein into dinner, try spreading it evenly across the day. That means every meal becomes an opportunity to signal the body to repair, grow, and maintain muscle. Think 25, 35 grams of high quality protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe a small protein rich snack in between. You're not just eating to feel full, you're eating to fortify your body. And let's go a step deeper here. Not all protein is created equal. What you're really aiming for are complete proteins. Those that contain all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. These are found in foods like eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, whey protein, and lean red meat. If you're plant-based, you can still hit these targets. You just need to be intentional. Combine legumes and grains like rice and beans, or use high-quality plant protein powders that are fortified with all essential amino acids. Now, why does this matter for your legs and your muscles? Because protein is structural. It's not just fuel. It's literally the material your body uses to build and repair muscle tissue, tendon fibers, enzymes, and even neurotransmitters. Without enough of it, your recovery slows down, your muscle tissue breaks down faster than it can rebuild, and your risk of injury and chronic soreness increases. And here's something I think is really important to internalize. You don't feel nutrient deficiencies right away. It's not like you skip a few days of good eating and immediately feel your muscles wasting away. But over weeks and months of underfueling, the damage starts to accumulate. You become weaker, more tired, more sore. Your workouts don't produce results. You lose motivation because your body isn't responding. That's when people give up, thinking it's just aging. But really, it's undernourishment, not in calories, but in the key elements your body desperately needs to thrive. This is where micronutrients come in. These are the support players in the muscle health story, and they're just as vital as protein. Let's start with vitamin D. This one is massive. Vitamin D helps regulate calcium absorption and supports muscle contraction and strength. Low vitamin D is associated with increased risk of falls and muscle weakness, especially in older adults. And here's the kicker. Most people over 40 are deficient, especially if they live in areas with limited sun exposure or spend most of their time indoors. So yes, get some morning sunlight if you can, but also consider supplementing with 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, especially in winter months. Next is magnesium, another critical mineral that often flies under the radar. Magnesium supports over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including those that control muscle contractions, nerve impulses, and energy production. And if you get leg cramps, feel stiff, or have trouble sleeping, there's a good chance you're low in magnesium. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds, avocado, and dark chocolate are great sources, and many people benefit from taking magnesium glycinate or citrate in the evening to relax the body and support recovery. Let's also touch on omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Omega-3s are anti-stimulant, and that's crucial because chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the silent killers of muscle health. Inflammation interferes with protein synthesis, delays recovery, and makes you more prone to joint pain and tendon issues. Taking a high-quality fish oil supplement, 1 to 3 grams daily, can support muscle function and even improve the anabolic response to exercise, especially in older adults. Then there's collagen. Yes, it's more than just a beauty trend. Collagen is a major structural protein in your tendons, ligaments, and connective tissue. After 40, your natural collagen production drops significantly, which is why recovery from injury slows down and joint pain becomes more common. Supplementing with 10 grams of hydrolyzed collagen daily, especially taken with vitamin C before activity, has been shown to support joint health, tendon strength, and muscle repair. One more tool I'd add here is creatine monohydrate. It's one of the most well-researched supplements in the world, and while most people associate it with younger gym goers, it's actually incredibly beneficial for older adults. Creatine helps regenerate ATP, your body's energy currency, allowing you to maintain strength and power during exercise. More importantly, it's been shown to prevent muscle loss, improve functional performance, and even support brain health in aging populations. A standard dose is 3 to 5 grams per day, and it's safe for long-term use. But beyond supplements, the big takeaway is this: food is information. Every bite you take is a signal to your body. You're either telling it to build, repair, and grow, or you're leaving it unsupported. And when it comes to protecting your legs and muscles after 40, nutrition is the one area where you have total control. You can't stop the passage of time. You can't avoid the fact that your body's repair systems slow down, but you can supply those systems with better raw materials. You can give your body what it needs to keep up. You can choose to prioritize recovery, fuel your workouts properly, and support the daily wear and tear of life with consistent nutrient-rich eating. This is why protein isn't just for athletes, why vitamin D isn't just a seasonal supplement, why magnesium isn't just for sleep. These are the building blocks of resilience, and resilience is what keeps you moving, keeps you strong, keeps you able to live fully and freely, not just now, but for decades to come. So when you sit down for your next meal, ask yourself, am I eating to survive, or am I eating to support performance? Am I fueling for energy today, Or am I investing in strength for tomorrow? Because every meal is a vote, every supplement is a support beam, every choice is either rebuilding your legs or letting them wear down. This isn't about extremes. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency, quality, and intention. The same way you train your body with movement, you train your cells with food. And when you align those two, movement and nutrition, you create a body that doesn't just age, it adapts. Because strength after 40 doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters and doing it consistently. Now, there's one more critical component we need to talk about if we're serious about stopping leg and muscle damage after 40, and that's recovery. This is the part most people overlook. They focus on the movement, the workouts, the nutrition, and that's good. But if you're not recovering properly, if you're not giving your body the time and conditions it needs to actually rebuild, then you're going to stay in a cycle of breakdown. You won't see the results you want. You'll start feeling more fatigued. You'll experience soreness that doesn't go away. And slowly, silently, the damage will accumulate. You don't grow when you train. You grow when you recover from training. That's when your body rebuilds tissue, rebalances inflammation, integrates neurological signals, and resets hormone levels. But in today's world, recovery has become this forgotten piece of the puzzle. It's not flashy, it's not Instagrammable, it's not intense. And because it's not dramatic, most people don't treat it with the urgency it deserves. Let me tell you this plainly. After 40, recovery becomes a performance tool. It's not optional, it's not a luxury. It's one of the only ways you can maintain consistency, reduce injury risk, and keep progressing. And there are three major layers to this: sleep, nervous system regulation, and physical restoration. You need all three working together. Let's start with sleep, because this is where recovery really begins. Deep, high-quality sleep is one of the most potent anabolic tools your body has. When you sleep, especially during stages 3 and 4, deep non-REM sleep, your body secretes growth hormone, the master repair signal. This hormone helps repair damaged tissue, rebuild muscle fibers, and even recalibrate the nervous system. It's during these hours that your muscles are actually being rebuilt stronger than they were before. So when people skip sleep or cut it short, getting 5 or 6 hours instead of 7 to 9, they're literally cutting off the healing process midway. Now, you can't force sleep, but you can optimize the conditions for it. That starts with light exposure early in the day. Go outside, get sunlight in your eyes. This sets your circadian rhythm, which then supports melatonin release at night. Avoid caffeine in the afternoon, ideally stopping it around 8 to 10 hours before your typical bedtime. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. These seem like small things, but they compound powerfully, because if you can get consistent, high-quality sleep, you're giving your muscles the recovery environment they need to stay healthy, supple, and strong. But sleep is only part of it. The next layer is nervous system regulation. After 40, your body is more reactive to stress. Cortisol levels can stay elevated longer, especially if you're constantly on all day, email, traffic, family, notifications. And when your nervous system is constantly in that sympathetic state, fight or flight, you're not healing, you're surviving. And survival mode doesn't support recovery. So we need tools that help shift the body into parasympathetic mode, where rest and repair happen. One of the best methods for this is non-sleep deep rest, or NSDR. This can be something as simple as a 10 to 20 minute protocol where you lie down, close your eyes, and follow a breathing pattern or guided meditation. You're not trying to fall asleep. You're just allowing the brain and body to enter a deeply restful state. This activates the vagus nerve, lowers your heart rate, and reduces muscle tension. It's like a nervous system reset button. Doing this once a day, especially after a workout or in the afternoon, can accelerate recovery dramatically. It's also a way to lower systemic inflammation without medication. You give your body permission to drop into healing mode. And this isn't some vague wellness idea. It's rooted in real physiology. When you allow your nervous system to shift gears, you improve digestion, hormone balance, even nutrient absorption. You allow your muscles to stop bracing and start repairing. And the amazing thing is, just 10 or 15 minutes a day is enough to create meaningful change. You don't need hours of meditation. You just need intention. The third piece of the recovery puzzle is physical restoration, the hands-on work your body needs to stay limber, functional, and pain-free. This includes mobility exercises, stretching, and active recovery. Most people think of stretching as an afterthought, but if you're over 40 and training regularly, or even just walking and working all day, your muscles and joints need focused time to decompress and release tension. Try this 2 or 3 times a week. Spend 10-15 minutes on targeted mobility. Use a foam roller to work on your quads, calves, and glutes. Do ankle mobility drills to keep your gait smooth and protect your knees. Use dynamic stretches before movement and static stretches after. And if something's tight or painful, don't ignore it. That's your body trying to get your attention. It's giving you signals. Listen early and you avoid injury later. Another tool that's worth mentioning here is cold exposure. Now, this can be a cold shower, an ice bath, or even just placing your feet or lower legs in cold water for a few minutes. The goal isn't to freeze, it's to create a short-term stressor that prompts a long-term recovery benefit. Cold exposure reduces inflammation, helps clear metabolic waste from muscles, and resets the nervous system. It also boosts dopamine and norepinephrine, which improve mood and focus, helping you bounce back from hard training or mentally taxing days. If done responsibly, starting slow and building tolerance, cold therapy can be one of the most effective recovery enhancers you'll ever use. The key to effective recovery is not constant mobility, is building mental tolerance. Cold therapy can be one of the most effective recovery enhancers you'll ever use. If you're new to cold therapy can be one of the most effective recovery enhancers you'll ever use. If you're new to cold therapy can be one of the most effective recovery enhancers you'll ever use. If you're new to cold therapy can be one of the most effective recovery enhancers you'll ever use. Because your stress hormones are being rebalanced, they're being balanced out, they're being calmed down before you can reset and rejuvenate. Now, what ties all this together, sleep, NSDR, mobility, cold exposure, is the principle of intentional rest. Not passive rest where you just collapse on the couch at the end of a long day. That's not recovery, that's sedation. Intentional rest means you're making choices that support healing. You're carving out time for practices that make your next session more effective, your movement more fluid, and your body more resilient. And look, I get it. Life is busy. You've got work, family, responsibilities, but this is one of those areas where doing a little consistently is better than doing a lot occasionally. 5 minutes of stretching every night adds up. One cold shower in the morning builds resilience over time. A single 10-minute NSDR session can reset your stress response and improve your sleep that night. Recovery isn't about perfection. It's about pattern. Think of your body like a high-performance machine. Training is how you press the accelerator. Nutrition is the fuel. But recovery? That's the maintenance. That's the oil change, the realignment, the recalibration. Without it, things start to break down. Slowly at first, then suddenly. And by the time you notice it, you've already lost strength, flexibility, confidence. The joints start to ache, the knees feel unsteady, you hesitate going up the stairs or lifting something heavy. That's not aging, that's under recovery. When you're 20 or 30, you can get away with pushing hard and skipping rest, your body bounces back. But after 40, recovery is how you stay in the game. It's how you protect your legs from wear and tear. It's how you extend your performance and prevent long-term damage. And it's how you make sure that every rep, every workout, every nutrient you take in actually translates into something meaningful. Recovery isn't passive. It's not doing nothing. It's doing the right kind of nothing, the kind that allows your body to do what it's built to do: heal, rebuild, and come back stronger. And the more you honor that process, the more strength and freedom you preserve in your life. So when you think about your training, don't just think about the push. Think about the pullback. Build in time for deep sleep. Downshift your nervous system daily. Give your muscles room to breathe and grow. Because recovery isn't what you do after the work, it's part of the work. And the more seriously you take it, the longer you'll be able to do the things you love with the strength, clarity, and stability that only come from a body that's truly being taken care of. What about the things that lift you up? What are some of the things that lift you up, that fill your cup, that stick there? When you are done, how better you? How big of... Here's something I want you to really understand as we bring all this together. When it comes to protecting your legs and preserving your muscle health after 40, consistency always beats intensity. Let me say that again because it's often misunderstood or ignored in fitness culture. Consistency beats intensity. That means small, regular habits done daily or weekly will always outperform the occasional heroic workout or crash nutrition plan that you can't sustain. And the reason this matters so much after 40 is because your body no longer thrives on random bursts of extreme effort. It thrives on predictability, on repetition, and on discipline that compounds over time. Now, let's be honest. Most people approach health and movement with what I call the all or nothing mindset. If they can't go to the gym for an hour, they skip the workout entirely. If they slip up on one meal, they throw the whole day away. If they get busy for a week, they quit altogether. That's the pattern that kills momentum. That's the cycle that leads to muscle decline, joint issues, poor mobility, and eventually fear around movement. And when you fear movement, you stop moving. And when you stop moving, your body starts breaking down faster than you think. This is where consistency becomes not just a tool, but a lifeline. It keeps you grounded, it keeps you engaged. It tells your body every single day, we're still in motion, we still care, we're still working. And the beauty of this approach is that it's sustainable. You don't need to overhaul your life, you don't need perfect circumstances. You just need to show up in small, repeatable ways. For example, let's say you've only got 10 minutes. That's not a waste. That's 10 minutes your legs and muscles get activated. That's 10 minutes where your heart rate comes up, your circulation improves, your joints get some movement, your mind gets focused. 10 minutes a day over a year, that's 60 hours of movement you would have otherwise lost. Imagine the difference 60 hours of intentional motion makes for your knees, your hips, your back, your stability, your coordination. That's how real transformation happens, not from one dramatic workout, but from hundreds of small decisions made on ordinary days. Now, this doesn't mean you don't challenge yourself. It just means you do it intelligently within a framework that you can stick to. You build a base of reliable movement first. That could be walking every morning, stretching for 5 minutes before bed, doing body weight squats 3 days a week, drinking a protein shake after every workout. These are keystone habits, the kind that don't just keep you moving, but anchor you in motion. Once those habits are in place, then you can layer intensity on top, but you never lead with intensity. You earn it through consistency, because here's what happens when people rely on intensity without consistency. They burn out. They push too hard, get sore or injured, take time off, and lose the rhythm. And every time they restart, it feels harder, which makes it easier to give up. It's this on-again, off-again cycle that leaves people spinning their wheels, making no progress, and slowly getting more discouraged. It doesn't have to be like that. Think about a plane taking off. It doesn't launch into the sky in one burst. It builds momentum, gains speed down the runway, lifts off gradually. Your body is the same. It needs regular signals to know it's safe to stay strong, regular stress to stimulate growth, regular rest to rebuild, and most importantly, regular reinforcement to know that it's still needed. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to preserve function, maintain independence, and create a foundation of strength that supports every part of your life, from carrying groceries to climbing stairs to getting up from the floor without hesitation. That doesn't come from punishment. It comes from practice. Consistency also builds confidence. When you know you're showing up every day in some form, even if it's just a stretch session or a walk, you start to trust your body again. You stop seeing it as fragile. You stop fearing injury. You start leaning into movement instead of avoiding it. That psychological shift alone, moving from fear to trust, is a game changer, because the moment you believe your body is capable, you treat it with more respect. You move it more often, you take care of it more consistently, and that creates a loop of positive reinforcement that's far more powerful than motivation alone. Let's be real, motivation is unreliable. You're not always going to feel inspired to train or eat well or stretch, but if you've built consistency into your life, you don't need motivation. You just need to follow the rhythm. You've created a default behavior that happens whether you're feeling great or not. And that's what separates people who maintain their strength from those who lose it. Not willpower, but systems. So let's bring this back to your legs. Your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves. These muscles are listening to what you do daily, not what you plan to do someday. If they're getting consistent activation, even at low intensity, they stay healthy. They maintain blood flow, they keep your joints aligned, they support your back, they protect you from falls and help you generate power when you need it. If they're being ignored for days or weeks at a time, they weaken. And once that slide begins, it takes far more effort to reverse than it does to prevent. And it's not just physical strength at stake. It's mobility, balance, stability, and your entire sense of confidence in movement. That's the real cost of inconsistency. It's not just losing muscle, it's losing freedom. And I don't think any of us want that. This is why I always recommend building routines that are flexible but consistent. For example, maybe you walk every day no matter what. That's your baseline. If you're busy, it's a short walk. If you've got time, maybe it's longer. Maybe 3 days a week you add strength training. It can be basic body weight squats, step-ups, resistance bands. If you travel, you do hotel room workouts. If you're tired, you stretch instead of skipping entirely. You adapt, but you never abandon. Even when life gets chaotic, your body still needs consistency. Your muscles don't understand excuses. They only respond to input. So the more consistent your input, the more reliable your output. That's how you create durability over decades, not with intensity, but with commitment. And let me also be clear, consistency is not about perfection. You're going to miss a day here and there. You're going to eat something off plan. You're going to get sick, go on vacation, or just need a break. That's human. But what matters most is how quickly you return. The goal is not to never fall off. It's to build the habit of getting back on track immediately, without guilt, without delay, and without needing to wait for Monday to start again. Because once this becomes your lifestyle, once movement, good nutrition, recovery, and presence become part of who you are, then staying strong after 40 is no longer a battle. It's a rhythm. It's a mindset. It's momentum. And I'll leave you with this. Strength isn't something you chase. It's something you build. Brick by brick, day by day, action by action. The people who stay healthy, mobile, and strong into their 50s, 60s, and beyond aren't the ones who train the hardest. They're the ones who show up even when it's inconvenient. They're the ones who value small, meaningful steps taken consistently. They're the ones who respect the compound interest of steady work. Because in the end, it's not the extreme choices that protect your body, it's the repeated ones. And when you commit to that, your body will reward you with strength that lasts. So here's the truth. Stopping leg and muscle damage after 40 isn't about chasing perfection, extreme routines, or magic fixes. It's about showing up for your body every single day with movement that matters, fuel that rebuilds, rest that restores, and habits that last. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to start. Because when you move consistently, eat intentionally, recover purposefully, and commit fully, you don't just age, you evolve. Now the question is, are you waiting for decline or training for strength? Because your future is built on what you do today. And your legs, they're listening.